Hello, crypto enthusiasts. Today we're going to be looking at an altcoin gem that is going to be monumental for the crypto space. We're going to be looking at how it's going to be connecting the new financial system. We're going to be looking at its fundamentals, and we're going to be looking at its technicals. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Welcome, crypto enthusiasts of the world. This is the DAO Realist for the DeFi Enthusiast YouTube channel. And today we're going to be talking about central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and also the ISO 20022 ecosystem. So getting right into it, what are central bank digital currencies? And for a very simple and straightforward definition, we can head on over to the World Economic Forum site, because whenever there is a major change in the international monetary system, we should look to and see what the financial institutions and financial elites have to say about the matter. What is a central bank digital currency? Digital currency is simply electronic rather than physical money, right? And it's not just digital currency, but it's programmed digital currency or digital cryptocurrency using the technology of cryptography and blockchain technology to have programmable money. All right? So that's something to take into consideration. And how's it going to work? Basically, your central bank is going to issue you directly this CBDC, this digital form of cryptocurrency, directly to a digital wallet that will be on your cell phone or handheld devices. So this is going to be a big difference, this is a big change. There's not going to be any more intermediary banks. There's going to be a direct link between the central banks and you. Let's see what the International Monetary Fund had to say about this. They had an article talking about the future of money, gearing up for central bank digital currencies. Right? Over here, they say that they have moved beyond the conceptual discussions of CBDCs, and now we're in the experimentation phase, right? Central banks are rolling up their sleeves and familiarizing themselves with the bits and bytes of digital money. So this is not just old talk now. They're actually going into the research and the piloting of these CBDCs and heading towards launch phase. And in fact, there's a number of countries that have already launched it. Around 100 countries are exploring, and Bahamas, Sweden, and China have actually launched pilot programs of this, right, or proof of concept. Look, Bahamas got the sand dollar, Sweden's got the Riksbank, China's got the digital yuan, and also Jamaica and Nigeria have also apparently joined this list, right? So a couple of points here, that general ideas here that will show you what their mindset is for these CBDCs. No one size fits all. Every single economy is different, so every single CBDCs may be programmed to some degree differently. So we're going to get different CBDCs with different programming for different economies, right? And financial stability and privacy considerations will be put forth to justify the use of CBDCs and for people to be holding certain amounts, limited amounts, in their digital wallets, right? And another thing, they want to strike a balance between the development of the actual CBDC and the policies that they want to implement, right? So they want to make sure that it's in line with their policy. In conclusion, the history of money is entering a new chapter. This is a really important point. So basically, just like in the past, how we went from a gold and silver backed currency, or the standard of money being gold and silver, to paper money. Now we're going to be shifting from paper money towards programmed cryptocurrencies, or CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, electronic money, digital money in its full form, right? So it's going to be a big change, a big shift in the history of the world. So it's something very important to be thinking about and to be looking about and to be wondering about. Even the Bank of England have been talking about it, and they recently published this article regarding what is a CBDC, right? We got the Federal Reserve talking about it as well. This is their official site. The European Union, all right? And a digital euro would provide an anchor of stability for our money in the digital age. So they're talking about a shift into a new age, the digital age, right? So it's a very monumental shift in the history of humanity, if you will. And if you want to know what countries are doing and where they're at in their development of their CBDC, you can head on over to cbdctracker.org, and you can actually see, and you get a little timeline here of the history of what countries did what and where they are at in their developmental process. All right? And we got, research, countries that are in the research phase, countries that are, still running it as a proof of concept, piloting phase, the launch phase. So it's really useful. Another interesting site that's also useful is the atlanticcouncil.org. Over here, you can see the atlanticcouncil.org. Over here, you can see that they've got a more detailed discussion, more detailed map of the CBDCs and the different developmental programs in different countries, right? Inactive research development pilot launched. Another very, very useful site is to know what's going on. So one interesting thing is that how are these different CBDCs, these different central bank digital currencies of different countries going to interact with one another? That's where ISO 20022 comes in, which are certain cryptocurrencies that have been chosen, and they're pretty much all blue chip cryptocurrencies and with large market caps that have been brought in. And these are going to form an ecosystem which are going to allow the exchange and the interaction of different CBDCs from different countries. All right? So the ISO 20022 is an international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions via SWIFT, the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. So in today's world, we use SWIFT to do wire transfers. We use SWIFT to have the interaction between different banks in different countries. The ISO 20022 is going to actually replace that system with a new system for the central bank digital currencies, right? SWIFT is the main financial messaging network used by banks across the world. ISO 20022 will dramatically change how banks communicate with each other by increasing the amount of information that can be communicated and improving interoperability. In addition to changing the traditional banking and financial services industry, the migration from traditional SWIFT messaging to ISO 20022 could also dramatically impact the crypto industry and the monetary industry as a whole of the world. Specifically, coins that comply with the standard may be more rapidly adopted into the traditional financial system. I'll say it again. Specifically, cryptocurrency coins that comply with the standard may be more rapidly adopted into the traditional financial system, which means that these coins can make a lot of money, right? They can increase in valuation significantly. And here is a diagram of the ISO 20022 ecosystem with the cryptocurrencies that are involved and how they're interacting with each other and how they'll play a role in the central bank digital currencies, the ecosystem. This is going to replace the current SWIFT system, right? And it's going to be multifunctional with many different functionalities, right? So looking into this and looking into a specific coin, which is in the middle, Quant, which is going to take over regarding interoperability, I present the floor to fellow crypto enthusiast, the DeFi enthusiast himself, to break down the fundamentals and to talk more about what's this coin and what's going on. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is this DeFi enthusiast here. So glad that you all could join us here. And today we're going to be looking at Quant. The future of finance today. That's exactly what Quant is. Quant is basically the bridge between institutional investors that and the blockchain space. So let's have a look at Quant. Unlocking the power of blockchain for everyone. We deliver interoperable ecosystems and real-world solutions that lower costs, enable new business, and mitigate risk. We serve banks, asset managers, and other financial institutions, enterprises, and the technology partners and fintech developers who support them. And these are the markets, these are the particular sections that Quant is involved in. Capital markets, if we have a look here, we're just... So you've got capital markets, assets of all kinds, both physical and digital, are being tokenized. Issuers are gaining access to entire new pools of liquidity, while investors are diversifying their portfolios in ways they could only dream of just a few years ago. Compliance. Blockchain can make the analysis of transaction patterns easier for tax authorities, regulatory bodies, and other responsible institutions. It can be used to simplify self-declarations, enforcement, or anti-money laundering operations. Payments. Cross-border payments, whether in digital currencies or fiat currency, are more flexible and secure when handled over blockchain. Supply chain and trade finance. Blockchains are bringing clarity and certainty to areas such as procurement, logistics, provenance, customs, and payments, helping to make notoriously complex global supply chains much more efficient. Digital currencies. Central banks across the world are investigating the adoption of CBDCs, while commercial entities are issuing their own stablecoins, often to great acclaim. Insurance. By removing intermediaries, blockchain could completely transform the insurance industry with a wide range of use cases, from the optimization of existing processes to the introduction of new business models. Now what's really amazing about Quant is that this is the bridge between all of these particular things, which are in the space, in the fintech space. Quant bridges it all together, and basically it does it with its overledger technology. If you look at it here, so it all starts with Overledger. Overledger is the world's first blockchain-agnostic API gateway. It enables interoperability by connecting businesses to multiple distributed ledger networks. Universal interoperability, providing a secure, simple, and cost-effective API connection to all major DLTs. Overledger's highly modular architecture offers universal interoperability through the continuous addition of DLT and API connectors. Speedy implementation, no need for specialist distributed ledger technology staff, and the SaaS API means no installation or run costs. That's really impressive, guys. Built for enterprises, easy integration into enterprise tech stacks. Designed for the future. With our blockchain agnostic approach, your existing infrastructure investments are protected and the door is open to future cross-platform applications. So Quant is also blockchain agnostic. That means it can work with any existing blockchain and also any future blockchain that comes out. It is future-proof. And what's really, so they offer a range of products that enhance the functionality of their core API. There's Overledger Tokenize, create secure digital tokens without writing a single line of code. You can literally use Quant to be, creating your tokens. You can, and that's not all, guys. I mean, this entire idea was founded by Gilbert Verdian. And Gilbert Verdian is the CEO of Quant. He was also the chief CIS, or Chief Information Security Officer at Vocalink, which is a payment service in the UK and I believe also in Europe, but definitely in the UK by MasterCard. It's basically a subsidiary company. It's a sub niche of MasterCard. So this guy has been, before that he was, the CIO interim of NSW Ambulance, then the Chief Information CISO of eHealth NSW, Director of PwC as in cybersecurity, Director of Cybersecurity, Security Lead at the Ministry of Justice in the UK, Integrated Supply and Trading Digital Securities at British Petroleum, Security Projects and Programs at HSBC, CSO and Deputy CTO, Office of the CTO at HM Treasury. So this guy has a lot of experience over the years. He's worked with major companies, and when he entered the blockchain space back in 2018, he decided to create a bridge for the entire crypto community, because you need a proper, fast, no-nonsense product which allows distributed ledger technology to function in a way that it's supposed to be functioning. And Quant is that bridge. This is why I feel that it is such an important project, and it's so undervalued right now. If we look at in their networks, our vision is one of an empowered, interconnected world, and that means building interoperable ecosystems of business and individuals who can share information seamlessly in short networks. Any blockchain, anywhere. By leveraging Overledger, the world's first blockchain-agnostic API gateway, we offer access to any blockchain or other distributed ledger. One connection to all private and public blockchains you might need. This is massive, guys. Private networks. We run private blockchains that allow only selected entry of verified participants, typically for private businesses or specific use cases. Joining a private network requires an authentic and verified invitation. Public networks. We enable access to public blockchains in which anyone is free to join and participate in the core activities of the blockchain network. Anyone can read, write, and audit the ongoing activities on the public blockchain network, which helps a public blockchain maintain its self-governed nature. They keep. I love their tagline: "Explore the future." This tells you how well thought out Quant is as an entire ecosystem, the entire bridge that connects the entire blockchain and brings all the institutional investors and big companies into the blockchain space. It allows for that. It allows legacy systems to come into the blockchain space without any hassles, without any know-how of how things are done. And Quant is that bridge. Like, do you see the potential here? It's incredibly massive. I mean, so if we look out here, in very simple terms, is that, DLTs, right, they offer a wide range of advantages as in distributed ledger technologies, but their quick pace environments but needs more seamless intercommunication both externally with other networks and internally with other ledgers. Due to this restriction, distributed applications are forced to be single ledger dependent or non-interoperable to run only on a single ledger. However, a project called the Quant Network aims to address blockchain interoperability issues by using the Overledger DLT operating system. So, this is really, really amazing, guys. I can't emphasize enough how massive this project is and how undervalued it still is, even at these price points. So Quant's Overledger Gateway is also referred to as the Enterprise 5. It supports multiple blockchains, including Bitcoin, Hyperledger Fabric, Ethereum, R3 Corda, and BNB Chain. These and a lot more now, Avalanche and all newer blockchains can easily work with Quant. And so the Quant network aims to solve blockchain interoperability issues using Overledger, an application program, a gateway that supports several distributed ledgers. The Overledger operating system allows programmers to develop MD apps that support widely used blockchains. The Quant network is able to do this thanks to the Overledger protocol architectures four separate layers. The transaction layer that have been verified using DLT are stored at this layer. This implies that another ledger cannot confirm already validated transactions. By consolidating all relative activities onto a single layer, Overledger simplifies the action required to reach consensus across various blockchain domains. The messaging layer is a shared channel where transactions from all ledgers are recorded, in contrast to the transaction layer, which is divided into separate ledgers. This logical layer pulls all transaction related information, including smart contract data and messaging digests from each ledger in the transaction layer. The transaction layer is unaware of the contents of the messaging layer, since the information about the transaction is wrapped, allowing all transactions from all ledgers to be combined. Filtering and ordering layer. The messaging layer's messages that are referred to in the digest of out-of-chain messages are filtered and ordered by this layer. Additionally, this layer makes sure the message complies with the application's need and schematics. For instance, a program can require that a specific quantity of coins can be moved for a transaction to be acceptable, or it might only allow transactions from to a particular address. Application layer. The application layer assumes control over all layers by establishing the guidelines and methods for integrating with the blockchains. Each multi-chain application is segregated from the others in this layer. To use Overledger, multi-chain applications must establish two sets of rules, one necessary and the other operational, which specify how to communicate with other users and programs and the Overledger system. Applications can interact with one another by sending messages via the messaging layer. These messages can pass from the filtering and ordering layer to the application layer if they comply with the filtering requirements of the other application. Overledger network DLT gateways, MD apps, and multi-distributed ledger technology smart contracts are some key features that make the Quant network useful. So we all know that it's interoperable, and it has things like tools such as representational state transfer application programming interface to connect several commercial, private, and public distributed ledger technologies. This is where private investors, private companies, and big companies can all come into the blockchain space. This is the bridge. We keep talking about Quant being the bridge for big institutional investors to come into the crypto space and carry out their legacy businesses onto distributed ledger technologies. Quant is that bridge. Do you see what I'm trying to get to here? And it facilitates communication between several blockchains using the Overledger DLT gateway. So without engaging with ledgers on an application level, Quant's Overledger DLT gateways enables the communication between several blockchains. In addition, it offers future-proof scalability without forking or consensus needs. That's massive, guys. For DApps and MD apps by integrating with many ledgers at once. Absolutely impressive. And now if we look at some of the partnerships here, these are some of the biggest partnerships that Quant has. Oracle, Pay UK, Hamburg, Crowds, Mobi, Amazon Web Services, they're partners with Quant, Hyperledger, and we're gonna NVIDIA Inception Program, Alliance Block, AU Cloud. We're gonna be looking at some of these because I really want to focus on, especially, let's see this. Let's say Hyperledger, right? Hyperledger is basically is a multi-project, multi-stakeholder effort that includes 12 enterprise blockchain, and distributed ledger technologies. Hyperledger enables organizations to build robust, industry-specific applications, platforms, and hardware systems to support their business transactions by creating enterprise-grade open-source distributed ledger frameworks and code bases. More than 270 organizations are now contributing to the growth of Hyperledger's open-source distributed ledger frameworks and tools. Some of the companies involved are Accenture, Airbus, American Express, Baidu, Cisco, Deutsche Bank, DTCC, Fujitsu, Hitachi, IBM, Intel, JP Morgan, SAP, BBVA, Bosch, Deloitte, FedEx, Huawei, Lenovo, NTT Data, Oracle, PwC R3, Ripple, Samsung, WeTrade, Bank of England, Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, Federal Reserve, Mobi, etc. So you can see, and Quant's Networks blockchain operating system Overledger has had a Hyperledger Fabric connector since 2018. Joining the Hyperledger community will help us further strengthen integration and enable interoperability with Hyperledger's technologies. Additionally, Hyperledger members will have the opportunity to gain access to the Overledger operating system, which can provide them with choice and ease of implementing Hyperledger as well as any other blockchain and distributed ledger technologies, and the ability to seamlessly integrate these technologies with legacy systems. Do you see the potential here, guys? Do you see what I mean? Again and again, I keep emphasizing this is the bridge, the bridge, the bridge, the bridge. This covers the gap, you know? And it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible what Quant is doing. And then we look at Pay UK, right? They're the leading retail payment system. We ensure that payments flow without interruptions. Salaries, benefits, bills, mortgages, and online banking payments are all sent safely and securely through our systems. We also drive competition and innovation in the market. Pay.uk, we are Pay.uk. These guys are using Quant's services. You know, Quant Network has been accepted as a company guarantor of Pay UK. You know, the UK's largest payment network alongside banks and other fintech companies. Through this relationship, Quant will shape the payment ecosystem to promote competition, innovation, and openness, as well as setting the strategic direction of the payments infrastructure and adopting the new payments architecture. Shout out to SEQ for this amazing article, guys. And as you can see, this is going to be amazing because they're going to be reshaping the entire payment infrastructure for Europe, for the UK eventually, and eventually all around the world, with the ability to be blockchain agnostic at the same time. The potential is just incredible for the next decade. You know, this overall decade. Usually I can't give any financial advice, but if there was a coin that I would, invest in for long term as well as midterm, Quant is that particular coin. And what's really amazing about Hyperledger is that look at the supporting members. We've already talked about some of them. You can see, this is massive. Now, Mobi is another partner with Quant, and what Mobi is, what they're doing is absolutely incredible, because Mobi is a new consortium for blockchain innovation in the mobility industry. The consortium was founded by leading automakers including Renault, Ford, GM, and BMW, and now represents more than 80% of global auto manufacturing by volume. Other members include Bosch, IBM, Cognizant, Accenture, Consensus, IOTA, R3, VeChain, Hyperledger, Ocean Protocol, and Honda. And what's really amazing here is that if you want to look at Mobi's entire list, I can leave a link in the description if you need to see those. But so, you can look at their website, dlt.mobi. And basically that is where you'll find all the information, if this doesn't make you bullish on Quant, I don't know what else is going to make you bullish on Quant, to be honest with you. And then, you've got the Quant network has been accepted into the Oracle Global Startup and ecosystem, a move that will enable us to benefit from Oracle's global customers and products product and market expertise. The program serves startups at scale by building a thriving global startup community based on mutually beneficial partnerships that enable next generation growth, business development, and drive cloud-based innovation for startups, customers, and oracles. Some of the benefits are basically of Quant's network's involvement in this ecosystem, including access to engagement with oracles, 430,000 plus customers, access to Oracle product and development teams, world-class global mentoring programs and curriculums, and proof of concept development. So, as you can tell, guys, this is massive. Quant is too big of a project to not be looked at, too big of a project to not be explored into, too big of a project to not, to be ignored, basically. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research, guys. I think Quant is going to be one of the biggest players in the crypto space for this decade. I think as Bitcoin was very important, Ethereum was also very important. I think Quant is the third most important coin in the crypto space. So guys, this was the complete fundamental analysis on Quant. And now we will be getting into the technical analysis of Quant. But before we get into that, I would just like to mention that our private group has just done more than a 30x on a coin that we recommended to them. And very soon we'll be opening our private group to all of you. And as time passes by, we're going to be revealing those details as well. So without further ado, I'd like to pass the baton to my dear friend and brother, the blockchain optimist, who's going to be doing a technical analysis on Quant. Over to you, brother.
Hope everyone's good. All right, so let's have a look at Quant. What does the technical analysis say? Right now we can see Quant, when it first was launched, it went up to approximately 423, approximately 425, right? That was when it was launched, but at the same time that must have been an impulsive move all the way up to there, and then since then it's been dropping all the way down. So what I've noticed is there's a trend line here, right? This is playing around. In the beginning, once it dropped this level, it went all the way down, reclaimed that level back up, which was around 78, and it was trying to push upwards. Now, what I can see straight away just by looking at it, there seems to be a mirror image going on here. All right, so if I look at this, what does it show you? So sometimes, like, these are different scenarios that might happen, different possibilities. So we're just going to be discussing a couple here now, right? Now, straight away, if we just follow what it shows right now, these are the possible scenarios that can happen. If we just look at it from a mirror image, that will probably go approximately there, and then potentially there. Okay, this is just one scenario here, and there's a few support levels there. So I'm just going to draw this up here just to say, okay, you know what, this is one possible scenario. That's if it breaks this level. If it doesn't break this level, it could follow through. Now, also what I can see, there's a bit of a rounded bottom here. If you look at this approximately here to there, right, there seems to be some form of rounded bottom, right? As you can see, it was going like this all the way around. So, like, potentially around even August time, we might even see a move up to around the 323 level approximately. Now, saying that, it doesn't mean that it's definitely going to happen. Right now, this is it's moving downwards, which is generally like it could be forming like a falling wedge, which is usually bullish as well. However, the one thing I've just noticed straight away, the RSI, stochastic RSI, is really high at the moment, so it needs time to cool down. Right, so what I would basically see for the short term, there might be a little drop. It doesn't mean that it's definitely going to go past this level, but you know, as you can see, it is generally moving towards that trend line. Now, there's another support level here that potentially could be created, because if you follow this trend line there, and then if we looked at something approximately, let's say here, that is kind of like showing another support and resistance level. There you go. So, you know, I wouldn't look too much into it, but what I would look at is to see how much the accumulation phase is likely to continue for. So right now, like I said, I'm only looking at this for the short term. Long term, I'm really bullish at this. You know, they're looking at, there's a few, where's that thing gone? Yeah, there is a few support levels like this one here. There's another one here, which is, you know, where it basically reached in January 28th, right? So it didn't break that. So I wouldn't, for the meantime, I'm bullish on this, but at the same time, these are the possible scenarios that it might go to. So what we want it to do is we need it to break the 153 level next. As long as that breaks that level, then the next level would be approximately 167, and going forward up to here. At least for the short term, you can always make gains, you know, enjoying the move up. But, you know, for the long term, you know, I'm pretty bullish on this. So for the meantime, let's just look at it this way. I don't want to look too much into it. If we want to look at the 4 hour, let's see how that one looks like. Immediate short term. Immediate short term is stochastic RSI is really low. So, you know, we could see in the next couple of days potentially try to move up to the 150 level, which gives you a nice little percentage, which is around 30, right, which is around 40%. So this one coming up to the 22nd of March, it all depends on BTC. Right now BTC is kind of holding the cards, but you know, I'd be hopeful to kind of keep looking at this from a long term, where if you see like this on a weekly basis, the stochastic RSI is starting to move down. So it will cool down, might be a few small moves going upwards, but generally this would be the point you'd start to buy around anywhere below 20. So if you look at this, if this kind of followed through all the way down to around 20 or below 20, this gives us an approximate look. So a good buying area would be around the 83 to 100 mark approximately, right? So this is the accumulation. We're accumulating right now, so we're going to keep on accumulating all the way across to December and just see where it ends up. But anyway, so I didn't want to go too much into it, but this is what it is for this time around. We will be doing a lot more analysis, a lot more detailed stuff. This is just to kind of support my friends, and we will be doing so many more videos. We're going to be going into the charts a bit more in detail. But for now, this is how we're going to do this. I hope you guys had a good, enjoyable watch, and we'll come back to you soon. Thank you, guys.